Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and Happy New Year to you all here on the last day of 2020 with a surprise first look of a phone that has yet to be released, the Redmi 9T. And we got another budget champ here on our hands. Xiaomi sent this one out to me, and apparently there's no embargo for this phone, and I received it early, so I'm sharing it with you guys here. The last phone of 2020 here on the channel, the Redmi 9T. Now, what do you need to know about this phone? Let's kind of do a quick rundown of the specs. This is essentially a first look, similar to my Street Tech first looks. So talking about design, this is essentially, I think, Redmi's answer to the POCO M3. So we have this really kind of nice radial back, this kind of soft touch plastic, but there is a texture to it. You see here, look at that. It's got this very nice kind of ribbed feeling. You have pretty prominent Redmi branding here on the back. And what's different really is that you don't have that kind of cyberpunk-esque look here. You have a more traditional camera module. There you see 48 megapixels super quad camera. And then here you see on the front, yes, this very much looks like a POCO M3. And just like that budget champ, I really have no issues with this design. It's a really nice, sleek look. It's got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, IR blaster at the top, and here you see it. Look at this. We have dual speakers on this device. Very unique that you don't see here. Actual speaker grills. A very nice look for this budget phone overall. Talking about display, we have a 6.53-inch Corning Gorilla Glass dot drop display, and the key feature here, guys, just like the POCO M3, full HD on this phone. And you know, considering I've reviewed a few phones just recently which were using HD plus displays at around this price point, I mean, guys, a full HD display is something that I've appreciated from the Redmi 9, which was the first phone to do it, to the POCO M3, and now this Redmi 9T. And this means that Xiaomi is on the relentless push to bring better specs to lower prices, and I think we're not going to see another HD plus display from Xiaomi ever again. Now, we do have this type of teardrop notch, but I don't mind it whatsoever. And the bezels, yes, they're a little bit bigger than your standard kind of flagship phones, but overall, I'm really happy with the display on this Redmi 9T. Performance, once again, similar to the POCO M3, we're using the Snapdragon 662 on board with 4 gigs of RAM, and this unit, let's see, has 128 gigs of storage, and we're running MIUI Global 12.0.1. And overall, guys, just like the POCO M3, performance seems pretty good, but to be honest, I think 6 gigs of RAM would be ideal on these types of devices, but generally speaking, I think for the casual user, you'll have no problems playing any of these types of games like Subway Surfers. You can even play, if you go check out my POCO M3 review, you can do Genshin Impact on this phone. The frame rate suffers quite a bit, but it can be done. And powering it all, we have a 5,000 mAh battery in this Redmi 9T with 18 watt fast charging, so it's a little bit lower spec than the POCO M3, but it also means that this phone feels a little bit lighter in the hand than that phone. Now, don't get me wrong, 5,000 mAh is still a terrific capacity, so I definitely think that you will be fine and this phone will last for days on a single charge. But yeah, of course, if you're weighing between this and the POCO M3 and you want the maximum battery life, then you probably want to spring for that device instead. And last but not least, the cameras. Like I said, we have a 48 megapixel main camera on this Redmi 9T with an 8 megapixel front camera. And guys, I've taken a number of shots here. I've actually had this phone for the past couple of days. The results that it's giving me are very similar to the ones that I saw on the POCO M3. I wouldn't be surprised if it's using the exact same sensor in this case, but scrolling through some of the shots, you can clearly see here, it does deal with some of those exposure issues that the POCO M3 did. But you know what? Look, it's a solid camera, and I think it takes really good selfies, actually. Here's a portrait selfie. And yeah, it does tend to overexpose just a little bit, but I think in the right lighting, you can still get some really quality shots. And there's a night shot for you. Looking really good as well. The POCO M3 definitely surprised for the price with its really great cameras in both day and night. And I think this Redmi 9T is no different. Sure, it's not going to match, you know, the mid-range or flagship phones in terms of quality, but I think you'll be very happy with the shots of this Redmi 9T. I think just like the M3, it brings a lot of camera for the price. So stay tuned, guys, for my full in-depth review of this Redmi 9T. It's very cool to see Xiaomi releasing another budget champ here at the end of 2020, and so great to have had a chance to share it with you guys here on the last day of the year, the Redmi 9T. Awesome stuff. But hit me up in the comments. What are your thoughts on this Redmi 9T, and how do you think it stacks up next to the POCO M3, which, let's face it, it is its like cousin phone. They really do have a lot in common, but I think the more budget options, the better, and I really do think Xiaomi's going to nail the price on this one. Another solid budget offering from Redmi. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up, and if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. Last 12 hours of 2020, let's get it done here. Thanks for watching, guys, all of my videos this year. I really do appreciate all the support, and stay tuned for more great content coming to Frankie Tech in 2021. So that's it, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Happy New Year's!